Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It is time to bring it to you every ball. It is in fact X's First Show, your premier media response show. It's a Sunday. We're talking Drag Race. I'm Nico Action, NICO.
Hey everyone, I'm Jonah. Your favorite place at Peak Jonah.
Oh no,
Teek's on mute. Oh no.
Oh.
What is happening today? I'm TK. I'm at TK Accidental.
How accidental.
You're normally over here.
Indeed.
There we go.
All
You're
accidental.
doing your full Dua Lipa. I come in, I go.
And that makes me Tori. You can find me online at smtori. And then
That makes me your producer, KEVO. You can find me at KEVO Really. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we know what you want us to cover in the future. But today, we got a ball. Not normally a ball fan, but it wasn't bad.
Well, no, because the best part of this episode had nothing to do with the ball. I thought the ball was fine, but like the best parts of this episode was, for me, watching the interpersonal relationship of these girls be better,
Healthy conflict resolution.
stronger. Yeah, so much better than it would have been a decade ago. Because now we have the tools in the toolbox.
Well, we always had the tools in the toolbox. What I found really interesting here was, I always go to Jinx and Roxy, who have repeatedly said like they would fight like that and make up, and like they would be fine on set, and they would be friendly, and they never showed that. And for years they never showed that, leading to the cesspool of fandom that we're in now, where a generation of kids grew up thinking that these girls actually hate each other. And for me, the culmination of that is Mistress and Irene being like, oh, you guys thought because we were, having a go at each other and kikiing a little bit that we hate each other. Like, no, we're fine. Like, you guys you've all lost the plot, thinking that when drag queens read each other, that's like actual malevolence and malarkey, and like fans will go so hard on it. So for the show to finally show a really bad fight and really good TV fight, I was
furious.
staring at the screen for that entire meltdown.
Ever at work.
Thought it was going to get physical.
I really thought it was going to get physical. I thought
yeah.
this was a really, really bad one. And I was telling Nico, I had all of these notes being like, okay, how am I going to talk on the show about how my favorite Anya is a bad person?
How it went from Anya to Offya.
Yeah, like just completely like irredeemably a bad person had that just been cut. And then they did the absolute right thing, which is, I got to give so many props to Lexi for coming in and saying, I didn't want to be mad. I went to bed, I came in, and I didn't want to be mad. So I'm not mad. Let's talk this out and let's resolve things. And then my partner watched it with me, and he turned to me and he goes, okay, I wasn't quite listening. Did Anya say, I'm sorry? And I was like, yes. I sat and looked for the words. She said specifically, I'm sorry. She bounced around a little bit. It was a softer apology than I personally might have done, because I freak out and say I'm sorry 14 times in an incident like that. But she fully said the words, I'm sorry. And for the first time in Drag Race history, we got an entire conflict from the spark of it to the fire, all the way to the resolution and the cleanup, in a way that really showed health, boundaries, human emotion, maturity, growth, hats, hands on heads.
Okay, but that means that Snatch Games editing is going to be some sort of picture of Dorian Gray looking all sorts of shitty.
I think you are correct about that. I think the fact that they were preparing us for it with the preview for the next episode is something we'll have to talk about a little more. But this was exciting to me in a way. Like, I really, honestly, I lived for the drama for a minute when it was happening, but as much as I had fun with that and I was like, oh, Drag Race, we are so back, I also was so happy for the mature conflict resolution. And
this was two people having human reaction to a degree. I can even understand why Anya didn't say something immediately.
100%.
When someone is coming in and they're clearly very emotionally charged, rightfully so. She's upset that that part of her outfit, that thing that she was going to be using for her outfit,
and she's dressed like Reptar. That's intimidating.
Yeah, the way she came in was very, very, very. It's a lot of energy to react to.
And you might not know if you want to say something immediately. I would have personally preferred something had been said immediately. However, they did have a conversation about it. They spat at one another, and then they made up and they talked about it. And at the end of the day, it was fine. And it was truly just, I think, two people having human reactions to what was also a genuine mistake. On top of that,
you can literally see like the tarp holes. Like it's a tarp. You can see the confusion.
It's an actual tarp, and if they're spray painting outside, there's going to be tarp on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to confuse if you're not paying attention, especially if they're spray painting when Lexi isn't there at the moment, which I think is what they said happened.
Yeah.
That there I think it's a mistake that anybody spray painting would have done. Truthfully, also at the end of the day, it didn't end up mattering at all to anything that had to do with the episode. But it was a interesting fight. We were everybody else in the workroom because everybody else was giving gorgeous face. My favorite was Sam going.
Yes.
She like. But I appreciate and commend. This is all of us. Just.
I want like figurines of these as bookends.
Not so precious moments.
Oh my god!
Girls are giving the best faces, the best reactions to everything. I love it.
Well, no. I would say that Lana Jarre is giving some pretty stupid reactions to some stuff, even though she's amazing.
We'll get there.
But Tori, talk to me. Was this on your nerve? Was this in your? Was this in your head? Were you off the plane?
It's so interesting to me. It's so interesting.
I have the same Walmart tank top, Sam.
Yeah. It's so funny to me because like I'm currently upset. I love Lexi Love. I'm upset that she doesn't love Suzie Toot. I love Anya Nerve. I don't love how Anya chooses to behave in design challenges. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, who doesn't, if you are honestly shocked, surprised, and confused when someone comes in and goes, oh no, that was my dress, not a tarp. And you're like my immediate would have been like, oh my god, I had no idea. Oh my god, but I guess I'm more of a people pleaser.
Well, the same thing happens to Mariah Carey with napkins all the time.
Right.
I thought about that, and here's part of the problem. You're immediately admitting I thought your garment was garbage and that I was supposed to spray paint on it because it's garbage.
Well, but
so,
I would say that,
and especially when she's already upset, Anya's going to have to be like, I'm sorry, I used it because I thought it was garbage and that I was supposed to use it as a drop cloth because it was trash.
Right, like, but the thing is I will say that like all of their materials are technically garbage because RuPaul cares about ocean environmentalism and not ground environmentalism. So
but like
that's where we're
really
at.
a receptive mood, I don't think, and I think that was perhaps part of Anya's fear.
Yeah.
The other thing about it, and this is again an editing thing, the show has always given us the impression that the girls who will go hard on a read and the girls who appear very confident are always that way. The show cuts down weeks of camera rolling time to whatever is going to work in 45-minute episodes. And from your Roxy's to your Raja O'Hara's, everybody, we don't know everybody's personality. I am absolutely somebody who, in a certain kind of conflict, can be horrifying and funny and nasty and read someone down. And in other types of conflict, if I get surprised, if I get spooked, if it's maybe somebody that I really like and I feel like, oh, I fucked them over and they're mad at me, I will spook. I'll freeze up a little bit. And Anya has been portrayed as so like she's not afraid to read a bit. She's not afraid to laugh. When all the girls were coming for Suzie, she was immediately, the editing of the show led us to believe that she had no fear in saying, you're all upset because Susie's doing well and you're not. You're all pressed and you shouldn't be. And she was laughing and she seemed so totally comfortable. And in this moment, you just saw that Anya was freaked out and scared and didn't want to have a confrontation. Even when she finally admitted to it, it was not with the same confidence that she has come to other interactions with. And that is nothing to be ashamed of. That is not a read of her at all. That is a lack of confidence that a lot of people who we have seen as being totally confident would also have in that scenario. But the thing is, they cut it into this show for the first time. And it was just really fascinating to see, because it is further evidence that they write these characters, they create these characters out of the footage that they have and out of the lack of footage that they show. And we have a much more rounded vision of Anya, the person who had a very human, I think very scared moment that she then worked her way out of with her fellow castmate. And I think the whole thing is really cool.
And I actually want to touch on something you brought up for a moment, because like Tori touched on it as well. I really identify with Suzie, and there's a thing I do want to jump onto about like this sense of fear. I think, to be really honest with you, when somebody comes in and goes, "Who did this?" No matter what, like, it's the same way when somebody comes into a room and shouts "asshole," everybody looks. It's not that you automatically answer to "asshole," and it's not that you're never going to take responsibility, but there is something about confrontation that engages fight or flight.
You have a moment.
There's also this human element where I really want to engage with how some of these girls behave historically as a cultural thing. And these girls, I mean girlies as well, not just the girls on the show, because I make unusual art in some ways. Like, my music is not quite like, Poppy Boys. I'm not, making all the moment current beat music. And I kind of want to put it this way, because Suzie Toot clearly doesn't either. And the way these girls are like, no, but what you do is not valid. What you do, you're good at it, but it's not valid. What you do is stupid. You should just stop. We don't know why you're here. You might be good at what you do,
like,
but
it's not
bad.
Real drag.
And
it's just clownery.
I felt very much like I was told my whole life that is why your art is unimportant. And when you are in a community that is meant to be a protected group operating on the fringe of society, when you're getting gatekept to pieces, it is so hard to hold your head up and make art. And I think what we are seeing here in many ways is a group mind hive mentality that does not exist in the real of people's minds. But when several minds come together and the pressure is just right, these weird vapors escape and they make a weird blend. And so one of the things that I do think we're seeing is people responding to group fear and group reaction. And I think that's part of where, like, honestly, Corey, my dear, you have yet to be in the top. Suzie's got several tops. I don't know why you're clowning on her. That just makes you seem really bitter. Like, that's not an overwhelmingly happy story, Tori.
Well,
Corey.
Well, and delusional, because she kind of keeps talking like, oh, and Suzie, who's doing terribly in this competition, did another bad look. And it's like, girl, she's constantly doing better than you. But I think you nailed it with the observation
you don't
of
like her. That's not the same
yeah,
thing.
you just don't like her and you're pissed. And they confronted that as well, and they all admitted to it. But I think, Nico, you're really right insofar as, like, there's such safety in numbers, and when how it helps your confirmation bias when other girls don't like somebody's look, for you to be like, oh no, it's not just that we don't like it, it's that it's bad, because we all feel this way, and we know, setting aside the fact that just subjectively, that look is not going to work for you, you don't want to wear it, but it's working for Suzie. I think it's also fascinating that Suzie isn't having the Jinx reaction of a little bit of a lack of confidence and a little bit of a down on herself situation when she's confronted with all these people saying it's bad. Suzie being so incredibly, like, Suzie and Anya both being like, you guys, it doesn't matter what you think for the purposes of this competition. Like, I have no concern if you all don't like it, because I'm still doing well, and the people that I'm required to impress in order to win this money are perfectly happy with it. That's the job description for this competition. I love that attitude too. That's kind of the perfect panacea to the groupthink nonsense, to really just be able to come to it and be like, I genuinely don't care if none of you like it. It completely does not matter for this particular set of circumstances. The girls have a fascinating interplay with each other, and I think, like, I think we're all learning a lot about the various edges of the sword.
Tori, talk to me about how you feel. I know you brought it up first. Where are you with these girls clowning on our clown as our kind of our clown queen?
I don't love it, obviously. I always, my preferred queen that I attach to is usually of the clownier, campier variety. And I don't love how we seem to be moving into this world where the glam and the glamour is the only acceptable way to do the art form. I think I was listening to Race Chaser, and they were talking about the fact that like Crystal Versace and the Vivian used to get into it about whether or not camp is still a form of drag that people want to be doing or should be doing, if it should all just be fashion. And I think that's what we're kind of seeing here, is that these girls are coming in with these crazy runway packages, and it's it's a lot harder for us to discern like who's actually at a higher level of drag, because it used to be that it was the runway package that used to kind of give you that extra edge, and now they all have excellent runway packages. So now it becomes, okay, well, what is the talent, and are these queens actually going to bring the talent in all these ways? And I think that Suzie Toot has shown that she can, and I think the other ones are concerned because they haven't caught the judge's eye like that.
And there's a very thing to note, is that one majority of the show is just making RuPaul laugh. RuPaul just wants to laugh. RuPaul and the judges just want to be entertained. That's 90% of the show. It does not matter what the challenge actually is. They just want to have a good time. And you'll have people who, I think because of their skill set, because of the type of drag that they do, the type of performance artist they are going to be able to lean themselves closer to and align to what the judges are looking for those types of challenges. And especially you see that with someone like Suzie, who seems like she understands comedy of different varieties. She has this idea of her character. She delivers it. She has a specific point of view, and all of that is lending itself well to doing well and succeeding in the competition. She's the first person to have 2 wins so far. And there's this sort of I think a lot of people, especially people who are competitive, will get a little way, and I know I get this way myself, and even with things as nowhere, and nothing that I get competitive about is nowhere near as important as winning the title for the Drag Olympics, of being RuPaul's next drag superstar. But when you see other people doing well, like you see other people in first, it's like Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, you're gonna throw the blue shell at them. You don't want them in first the entire time because you want to be in first. Especially if that person seems to be lapping you, like Suzie is lapping all these girls with her talent. But it's one of those things where drag is also very saturated because of the accessibility. There is no more, anybody and everybody can do drag if they so choose to. Now, getting paid for it and having it be your career are 2 separate things.
Yeah, doing and being talented, that's 2 different things.
Yes.
Yep.
There are plenty of people who are bedroom queens who just want to get in makeup, want a wig, want to wear a look, and then that's it. Majority of those people aren't going on Drag Race. But there is this idea that there is... you see this with people a little bit younger than me, and a lot of this cast is younger than me. There's this wrapping around back to, I don't want to say puritanism, but this idea of like a little pearl clutchy, a little, no, it's not what we do. No. In a way of, no, my exclusionary is different. No, but you don't understand. My exclusionary is like, it's good though.
Well, because I've also been excluded, so mine is different. Mine's special.
Yeah, I see a lot of these purity tests online. It's wild.
I think that's what we're kind of seeing, where you have a couple people not fitting them, which is also weird because you look at someone like Ariete, and Ariete doesn't do traditional glam drag. Ariete kind of is a little more creature, a little more elf, a little more whatever, and she looks gorgeous, but she's not serving what the other girls are serving. And they're like, okay, this is fine. We love this. But because someone is doing, Depression era looks, it's somehow a problem.
And you bring me to another point, which is Lana. And the fact that this season there is a little, again, we harken a little bit back to old school popularity contest drag race. And actually, I think it's important to talk about because it also speaks to a thing that I was talking about when we were all the way back in the talent show. Sometimes the girl who has great energy on stage, even if all she brought was a lame song that is like not impressive production,
Do
and
kicks and do dances. I
yeah,
have
and like
a
her
lot of
dancing
faces.
isn't talent, but she's got the vibe and she seems cool. That girl, for one thing, she can do great in a drag race talent show. And also, when I see her live, I live for it. Like if I'm a couple drinks in and she's up there doing nothing that is the least bit impressive from like a, you know, again, not a great song. Her dance moves aren't that great. So what's the talent here?
But that's what you and Plain Jane have in common with Boston.
Precisely. Thank you. I will have such a blast watching that girl. And Lana and, you know, to a certain extent also Jules and Arietti all kind of give me this vibe of like, I mean, Arietti I think is so incredibly talented and has so many amazing looks and everything, but the way she's really mean, and like the way everybody talks about Lana, it's like Lana deserves to be there because she's so great, but Lana's not doing that great in the competition. I love Lana. I think she's really cool. Again, she has that energy where I feel like I might really love her if I went to, you know, a local New Jersey drag bar and she was the person on stage. I feel like she could give a really good performance. But like, if you sat down and asked me, okay, what was the look? What was the talent that she brought? What was the number? All of them might on their own be a 5. It's just her charisma. And sometimes that translates to popularity with the girls. And so the girls will be like Suzie, who is a tap dancer, who, you know, has really high concept looks, who works really hard. She's not cool, and therefore we don't think she's any good at drag. And Lana, who numbers wise, are the looks any good? No. Like even Rue had to come in and say like, well, your critique from us is that you didn't do that great.
You would have been on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lana, who just isn't doing that well, they all kind of hype her up and are like, yeah, why not Lana? And like when Lana was like, I was insulted that you were in the top this week, everybody kind of backed her on that. It's because there is an element of popularity contest to this show, and I don't think it's 100% invalid, because we don't always judge by the criteria of like who did best by numbers. That's why so many people win with lip syncs where they're absolutely not the best person, or when their track record is not the best and their lip sync is good, they'll win because of that.
I also think the judges, Law Roach, actually, I felt like Law Roach tapped into something this week, talking to Lana, saying there's something about your confidence when you're on stage, the way you present yourself, the way you're holding yourself, even your hands, you're not giving me confidence. And it's so fascinating as a juxtaposition. Not that I even want to compare her to her drag mother, but Lux Noir London was one of the most confident people to ever be on the show. Yep. Lux was confident in every single thing that she delivered, whether she was in the top, whether she won, or whether she was in the bottom that week. It did not matter. Lux had the confidence to go, this is what I'm doing, this is my drag, this is my art, and you will notice me. And there's this very stark diametric difference of their personalities where Lana, I think, is a little more chill, is a little more reserved.
Less aggressive, yeah.
And I think it's that's where I think maybe she's feeling it the most, where her confidence, she's not really showing the full excellent package that the lingerie package should be showing, that she wants to deliver, and it's not being well received either.
Kevo, you have something.
The only thing that I would want to say in defense of anyone nipping at Susie's heels, sort of, is I'd been saying last week, the only reason we come for Arietti is her drag style is very specific and not necessarily translatable across different genres, and we wanted to see more from her. And then I think it was we were paused during a bathroom break, and we had learned what the challenge was. And NICO says, you know that Suzie Toot is going to come out here in a full bathing dress with the stripes and everything. And so when she came out in that, we howled because, yeah, that's the thing. It's I don't want to see her get repetitive in this, and now it is starting to become a fear.
I mean, I think it is really, I agree. Like, it is so specifically her identity in a way that, like, even, you know, again, we hearken to Jinx, who was similarly, you know, doing a lot of references to old Hollywood glamour and said that, but like would still, I mean, her Dia de los Muertos, her Sweet 16, she had a lot of looks that, regardless of whether or not you liked them or thought they were competitive with the other queens, were not that style. Suzie's kind of the opposite. All of her looks are executed competitively, like they are high quality, but they are all so in the same zone.
Yes.
And it's a little weird that it hasn't been brought up a little bit more, because Michelle, I mean, again, it's just, it feels like a production moment where, again, it's possible that it's been said and has just been cut out of, you know, it has been edited out of being featured on the show. But I think it really is a valid concern, because at the same time, I'm still frustrated that Arrietty is never not doing the nose. She got as far away from it as she has so far in this competition during her Sea Creature. And it really was just kind of, as Michelle was saying, like, you can do it a lot, but if we get to not see it every time, it really does show versatility. And it was like, what?
I was like, what the fuck's an as Michelle?
It's a type of fish.
Clearly.
It's a really good fish. You know, it's seeing her get closer to not having it made me look at her face differently. It made the experience of Arrietty a little different in a way that I want for her. John, I also want to prop up your point about Lux, only because I was really thinking about one of her most confident moments where she reads everybody down. And I love that Lucy's reply is like, that's very confident for somebody who's wearing a wig that was on a puppet last week. And yeah, like, that's, I mean, her read, Lucy's read was correct. But at the same time, Lux would get on stage and read every single one of her competitors while not being in like a particularly good look, like, because she was so confident that she had done what she wanted to do that night that it never fazed her. And I think that's such an interesting juxtaposition, just because, like, it kind of just goes to show that you can't teach your biological children, you can't teach your drag children. People just are going to be who they are, and you do your best to model for them. But also, people are confident in different climates as well. Like, this really just might not be the place for Lana. Go for it, Nico.
I want to, Tori, I would love to get some of your thoughts on this. You've been biding, filling with thoughts, and, like, you know, you'd pointed out even that they were coming for Suzie a little bit earlier, and I really want to know where you feel about. I agree with everything everyone's saying. Look, Lana, I'm a big fan of what you're presenting, but, like, so far, I'm not getting a lot of top energy, and I would love to know where you're coming from, Tori.
I think something is up with Lana. Like, something is up, because she doesn't feel like someone who considers herself to be a nervous human, like someone who would get the nerves, or someone who would become very shy or very quiet. And yet that's kind of what she's been doing on stage. And it's really interesting because, like, it's not a pageanty demureness. It just reads as very deer in the headlights, which is very strange, because she's not walking like she's deer in the headlights. She's not holding her shoulders like she is when she's walking. Like, she seems in it, but just something just isn't translating to the camera. And so maybe she's better when she's able to lock eyes in a club and things like that, and give you like a really more personal experience. But I think we have a couple of people here who are bringing things to the runway that are excellent, but aren't at the level that we thought they would be based on the personalities that they're showing. And I think it'll be an interesting next few weeks, because we lost a big personality tonight in the room.
I I definitely want to talk about Hormona's elimination because it did feel weird from an episode perspective because we didn't really get a lot of focus on her, especially because the show was like, well, who do you think is, the girls were like, who do you think is at the bottom in their mirror chats? And everyone was like, Acacia's looks aren't that good. I think it's going to be Acacia. I think it's Acacia's time to go. And then Acacia was in the bottom, but she wasn't up for elimination. And when it comes to a ball, I do like that for most design challenges, most stuff like this, it's 2 looks brought from home as well as something that you make. There's no production interference. There is nothing that production can do to be like, well, they didn't give me this and blah blah blah. No, this is all up to your ability.
I got bad trash.
But some people did get bad trash. Also, I don't know if that's an anglerfish. I need to point this out as a science person who loves animals as well as like marine biology. I don't think that's an anglerfish that they're showing. It could
They're
be.
not. I don't think it is.
Whoever on production was supposed to be getting the proper fish, I don't understand why you didn't Google anglerfish and take like the first photo. I know they use free photos. They can't just show any image. Anyway,
They just Googled fish.
side tangent, gone.
Hey guys, we don't say fishy anymore. Calm down.
This this look was stunning. But I was really a little disappointed this week with the looks that people made. All of the looks that were brought for home, I thought most of them were pretty good. They looked well made. They looked like they were delivering the concept. Everybody looked good in their looks. I was not particularly happy, and I say this as you know, a cigarette who sits at home being like, I'm never going to do that, blah, blah, blah. It was just a little disheartening to see what felt like unfinished looks or looks that just didn't feel like they gave up after a certain point. It felt like a race to the bottom for their looks that they made for this week, and I don't like. Part of me doesn't know how to feel about that.
And I think part of that has to do with the reality of we are talking about a show where the looks the looks are so weird here, like to talk about, because on American Idol, somebody can study with the greatest vocal coach of all time, but you're doing covers. So you can't come with the greatest song ever that no one's ever heard before. You're going to lose. Like, what was his name? Was it Sanjaya was the contestant in like season 7? He did Geek in the Pink by Jason Mraz. What a weird song to do. But, you know, that just sticks out in my mind because I still am a big Jason Mraz fan. But like, that was just such an interesting piece. These girls can bring anything they want. They can bring any designer, like maybe 10 Yards Clothing. You guys should check them out. Brilliant, amazing designers. But like we saw a staged reading this past week for an amazing new musical, Channing Tatum. We had such an incredible time. Adam Overett wrote the whole thing and did an amazing job. I was so impressed. And it starred the incredible Nina West, as well as Dan Amboyer and Darius. I unfortunately his last name is escaping me at the moment, but the three of them did an incredible job. Got to talk with a few of the cast afterward. But Nina came out in an amazing outfit that gave us that she was Carol Channing. If I have a frustration, that outfit sold half the show for me, because this was a workshop. This was a staged reading. So it's 3 people playing in front of a live orchestra, just singing. Oh, Kevo, I should send you my photo with Nina.
Yeah,
My
please
bad.
do. At your discretion. So
the thing that I kind of want to say with that is that, like, when I think about a show and what builds into it, the outfits, the costumes, all of that comes together. And so that this was a stage reading. It's actually not customary to say, oh, I'm wearing blah, blah, blah at a workshop reading. But I even was like, wow, this really brought her into this incredible version of Carol Channing, which, by the way, this show had some amazing numbers, some incredible songs. Nina did a song called Snaz. I am telling you, that song is one of those curtains. It's a business. Like, that's the number. What It's Like in a Man was also great. Just a lot of great songs here. Nina was a tour de force. It's one of those things where, like, I hope she can win 1,000 awards for this. But again, her outfit did so much work for me. I don't know where these girls got their outfits. I don't know where they got them, who made them for them, how long they've been in them. I don't know how much money they spent on them. So there is such a disenfranchisement for me. I don't know if Corey and Crystal spent the same amount on this and the puffer outfit. I have no way of knowing.
She made this. Corey made
Oh,
this.
sure, absolutely. I spent like any outfit that they made. Like I don't know who spent more, but I have to treat them like they're the same. But by the way, that puffer outfit, that is the most Dana Ellen McClintock I've ever seen, Tori.
Yeah, I know. We're working on it. I know. We should use the armadillo shoes. I don't know why we haven't.
I thought truly like this ball really was kind of between Crystal and Ariadne. Could have gone to either one of them. I was really happy that Ariadne got the win. She was just eliminated. She came back. She delivered 3 fantastic looks. So that part was right for me. The bottoms could have been almost any of the other safe girls. Truly, I feel bad saying that because I want them to succeed. I want them to do well. I just overall wasn't terribly happy, but I was so surprised that they cut Hormona here because it really kind of felt like they did not finish her story or any sort of storyline she had.
I only want to disagree because they cut in for Untucked. Again, another really great moment. And something you don't see a lot on Drag Race, which is a queen hearing the critiques and very measuredly, not in like a I'm the worst person in the world, and not in a no, I never do this, they're totally wrong. She gets the critique and goes, yeah, I do fall in love with a look, and then go a little overboard with it. I have 12 wigs in this style, so when I find something that works for me, I do it. And that was kind of the critique that she got. And that, for me, I think that was an Untucked. So it wasn't actually like a real foreshadowing flag, but it was kind of noticed to me that in the production room ahead of time, maybe like her producer might have been like, it's her time to go. And, you know, writing wise, they might have felt like the same thing. I did definitely feel like there was a sense of Hormona is very talented and can play at a high level, but maybe didn't come with the preparation to do that because she has some sort of self-curation to do. And because we haven't really seen a lot of versatility from her, and because she got the critique that like you have to give us something other than the hourglass silhouette, and then she kind of didn't. For me, those were the strong signals. She didn't get what a lot of people get, and what I think is nicer for them to do, which is like a solid storyline. And sometimes it's that like solid storyline that tells us they're going home. You know, it's we kind of get to prepare for it ahead of time. But I felt like they were leaving some pretty serious breadcrumbs. I could have gone in the direction of having it be Lana for a lot of the same reasons. And again, that puts me into the idea of the popularity contest and the fact that it felt like Lana is a little more popular both with audiences and contestants, and like production sort of knew that was going to be the case, both because of her pedigree and the fact that she just has a little more of that like cool East Coast girl vibe to her, that they might want her on a little longer. And then Acacia, you know, I'm sort of wondering if, I mean, this might just be me and Nico, but I'm sort of wondering if it's just because she's very cute. And they're just keeping her on a little. So like when I was doing the math in my head, I was like, it's probably Hormona.
I don't even disagree with, you know, I think it was the right call, though.
Yeah.
The lip sync was a little less than desirable, personally.
Yeah.
The way RuPaul was making her faces, I was like, oh, she's gonna send them both home.
Because Hormona said it earlier in the episode. She was like, or a double sachet.
Yeah, I thought it was a double sachet.
We haven't had one in a while.
We have not.
And Ru did not look happy.
No. And to be fair, Get Him Back is a great song. Not the best lip sync song. It's just a very awkward tempo to make, I feel like, interesting. But that's a personal whatever. I guess I'd even say Hormoto deserves in the bottom for her leafy sea dragon look, because that was so far not the prompt. It was so not the prompt in a direction of, okay, we're just not going to do what you were asked, and that's whatever. It was just so fascinating to see that she. But at the end of the day, I don't think she looked bad at any of her looks. But I guess they were just, at this point, they were like, hey, you need to wow us a little bit more, which I think was kind of the critique for the bottom three across the board. Was like, hey, we need to see a little bit of and amp it up a little. So, I'm gonna miss Hormona. I thought she was wonderful. It's absolutely hysterical for her final words to be, and Corey, go to hell. It's very funny from a very religious woman.
Yeah.
I do want to.
Yeah, we don't get resolution on that, do we?
I mean,
go for it, Nico.
Just the thing about Hormona that I resent her being dismissed. It felt like the girls felt like they won.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. And I don't know that that's true of the girls, but like I actually don't like Get Him Back, because I think it's reminiscent of where, like, not to be weird, but like if you want to compare some women who do not deserve to be compared because they're each three completely beautiful, incredible, unique women. But if you want to talk about the super award darling women of the last few years, and that's where I want to compare them, it's Billie Eilish, it's Olivia Rodrigo, and it's Sabrina Carpenter. And you can say that Billie Eilish is dark or whatever, but she's actually like a really, her lyrics are not about she wishes you were dead quite the way Olivia Rodrigo's are. And, the whole point of Sabrina Carpenter's music is she's so self-obsessed she can't even be bothered with you.
And extremely horny.
And so horny. I described her to my sister as a slutty cherub the other day, and my sister was like, that's what her face is. But like, Get Him Back for they couldn't have designed it any other way, but the way this exact thing falls out, where it's these girls, it's getting rid of Hormona, and it's one of the mean girls getting to stick around. One thing I will say is, if you give me 100 people to choose from and you say find the tenor that you sing the best with, I have 99 people to choose from. If you tell me I have 10 people to choose from, I'm gonna say it. Do you guys really think that those are the girls that Raja would have picked to hang out with and call other girls boogers? Do you think that those would have been Raja's friends in a university campus of 15,000 people? Really?
Beggars cannot be choosers when
Beggars
we're building
cannot
armies.
Exactly. And that's where I think Lana is part of this group of girls, where they're just sort of like, we as human beings create othering. And it's not that Lana is, because like I really hear what you're saying, TK, earlier. They are acting like Lana has a scorecard that reflects something different. She's a beautiful person, and there is nothing about her person that should be questioned. It's the scorecard we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they're acting like Suzie has a bad scorecard and she's got a good scorecard. And like, I'm sorry you think Mewtwo is ugly and looks like a pregnant monster, but like, Mewtwo is still really powerful, and Abra can just fucking teleport off the battlefield.
Have you been having some bad games in TCG, Nico?
But like,
when you said Hourglass before, I was like, Hourglasses, golden hourglasses that reopen booster packs, Hourglasses. Oh no! It's like when I started playing Arkham and I couldn't move forward without hitting W when I got to work the next day.
I think it just kind of comes down to that these gals really do think that the runway counts as much as, if not more than, the challenge.
Well, and I also think they think that if they like something, the judges are going to agree, or something has gone wrong.
Right. And I just,
but not with them.
Right.
With the judges.
Right. And I think next week's Snatch Game is really going to prove to them that sometimes if the references you are making are older, it's better, because you know what RuPaul is? Older.
Old.
And do you know what she's not going to enjoy? Sticks Instagram influencers next week. It's not going to be fun.
And the fact that the judges are always old, like TS is older. I mean,
Alyssa Edwards is old as shit.
Also, yes.
Well,
La Roach, like, I mean, for all that La Roach is a stylist for cool people in the modern eye. La Roche is older. Almost everybody on that stage, besides the celebrity guest judge, who's never going to want to be that harsh, is somebody for whom playing to even slightly older sensibility, even like the reference might be young, but it's from the perspective of somebody who is trying to appeal to an older person. You're right. It's always going to work a little more in your favor unless you're bad, in which the case you were going to be screwed no matter what.
Right.
But like, when I was in 6th grade, I was learning the words to Nick Drake's Pink Moon instead of learning the words to Nookie by Limp Bizkit. And that's age appropriate.
I mean, ultimately, I do think you made a mistake there, but whatever. Finish your story.
Well, but that's even like where these girls, that's even what we're kind of all talking about. You like such old, obscure things. You're such an old man in that way. But like, that's where like the girls are all impressing each other, but Suzie is impressing Rue.
Right. Yeah. And Anya, same thing with Anya.
Too.
Anya's a little different because Anya's thing isn't old.
The boardworms.
And Andrew referencing T.S. Madison's Not the Boreworms, which again, that's from Flash Gordon. Like she originally talks about that with Katya, and it's this thing where like, you know, they're talking about this older thing, this older film that none of the girls here who would shit on Suzie would have seen or like gotten the reference to, but TS with that took over social media for like last summer or this past fall. And so I mean, like, I'm very curious to see where Snatch Game goes in particular for this group, because it does also, I mean, the other thing that I said earlier is like, from the preview alone, it sounds like this is going to be at least season 14 levels of rough.
I still maintain season 14 was only bad because they edited it that way. I thought it was. I thought it was fine.
I think you are probably right, Jonah. But they did edit it that way to the point that afterwards, Michelle's critique is a 8-part judgment of why it was so bad.
Michelle's sleuthing.
Yeah, it's an 8-part investigation of why it was so bad, which has never been done before or since. And they did not prepare us for that when it aired. So the fact that they went so far as to, in the preview, let us know that it wasn't good, I'll be fascinated to know, because ultimately, from how it is edited, it appears that nobody does well in the season 14 one except Deja. Like, even the people that you think would have done well, like Willow, the editing or the final product leads us to believe she did not. I fully can believe that she did and it was edited out, but what we get is a final product that says she did not. And similarly here, like, we don't get any indication of like, you were the one good girl, like Suzie Toot, you had a good thing. What they prepared us for was this did not go well at all.
I do not like this outfit.
And I am so fascinated to learn really what happened there, what is going to happen. We have some sort of teasers about who some people are playing and some rumors about who some people are playing.
It's clear that Lexi Law... I can't do a good Gilbert Gottfried, but neither can she, evidently.
Based off the trailer for next week, we have 4 confirmed Snatch Games, being Lexi Love playing Gilbert Gottfried, who, based off that trailer, might freeze doing improv. We don't know, but we'll see. Suzie Toot is playing Ellen Green, who probably most people might most know her as Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, as well as Chuck's aunt from Pushing Daisies.
Yeah,
she's the one who has her.
Yes.
Corey King. Rue's not going to get those jokes because Rue doesn't like musicals. Continue.
Correct. Corey King is playing Big Ange, Big Ange is from Mob Wives. Big Ange
last time played by Pearl, did not go. Actually, did go well. That was the one time.
Very well.
Yeah, that was the one time she and Rue bonded. That was the one time they had a rapport.
I wasn't watching fucking Batman and Robin. I had a rough childhood. Okay.
Yep. I mean, it's just like, wow, can't believe that Corey couldn't come up with somebody different. That's.
I really can't either. Yeah, go.
And then Anya Nerve is playing Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
that's gonna kill.
It'll be. I'm dying to know who Joella had brought.
We'll find out next week.
I really hope it was Katy Perry.
That would be amazing. That would be really, really good. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. Yeah, it's really this remains a really fascinating group of girls. Like I said, even we've talked a lot about not great behaviors this episode, or like just ways that they relate that aren't the best. But we also, in talking about some of those behaviors, like the fight, we've talked about ways in which they're all really great and grow, and when they behave badly, which we all do, that is a perfectly okay and human thing to not behave at your best. And it has been really fantastic to see girls do that and apologize, do that and make up. And when we see things like, maybe not treating Suzie so great, and maybe treating Lana really well in a way that, like, for me, the behavior is just like, this is high school, this is a very popularity contest. But again, as NICO pointed out, it's very natural to group think like that. It's very natural to clump together with people who think like you, and then you guys feed into your delusions. You reinforce to each other that your stupid thoughts are actually smart thoughts, and then we out here on the outside are all like, no, we can actually see the bigger picture, and you guys are dumb. And again, all just very human behaviors that the show has this season. I really do feel like some of the first times, and the most clearly, has really shown us, like, these are people. Even when they're at their worst, they can come back from that and be at their best in the next moment. And we all do the things that they're doing. So when we see them engaging in stupid groupthink, don't forget, you were all in high school too. You were all
no, I specifically did not go to
no,
high
I know
school.
you were not in high school. Yeah, I've seen you engage in stupid groupthink. I'm one of the people that's in the stupid group telling you we're right. So we all do it. And it doesn't make anybody a bad, irredeemable person. It doesn't make somebody a villain who you need to go yell at on social media or go like shit on them at DragCon or at shows. It's just a thing that happens, and showing all sides of it, I think maybe we're finally starting to get like some healthy working out of concepts in this fandom.
Well, we're going to work out a concept in fandom in a minute, and I'm really excited. But Tori, TK, Jonah, Kevo, I want to do a quick sound off on final thoughts on this episode. If I have a final thought on this episode, it's that I have fallen so in love with Suzie Toot, and I'm really excited to say Anya Nerve and Sam Starr, two people I never thought I would have cared for from the preview, but I'm putting something out there myself. The preview is not produced by the same people that produced the show.
Yep.
The preview is a special. Specials are different directors. It was not the same people trying to capture the same thing. Those producers didn't know these girls. They saw plot lines and they ran with them, which is how Corey King came off funny. And so I'm being playful, Corey. I would love to work with you because I think you're amazing. It's just like you're one of those queens who is so good at being Corey. You're not necessarily good at being a RuPaul contestant. But I never thought I would fall in love with specifically Anya, who, as JoJo reminded me, came for all gamers, which what the fuck? And
we all forgot about that. We still love her and we respect her and we love her talent. But I will not forget about it ever again.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this later.
And then Sam Starr, who genuinely is basically Texas from Miscongeniality. And she didn't even let me say non-fat.
You mean Godchild to Charles Barkley?
God fucking goddamn God.
I've seen the pictures now. It's wild.
So, I just want to say this season has been such an unbelievable learning experience for me and who I am as a fan. Charles Barkley, who has always been an unbelievable LGBT supporter. LGBTQ, I want to put the Q's in there because this is not the time to be forgetting any letter.
Last season, so.
Oh,
was she?
That's the real hair.
So, that is her natural speaking voice, and so I will never let that go. And otherwise, I love every one of these girls, even the girls that I have opinions for. Girls, you got opinions for me too. Just come talk to me. And also, again, I don't know. There should be a special award for person you thought was dumb, but it turns out they're the world's coolest insect. Lydia B. Collins, you are the most unexpected queen I have ever seen. I am endlessly impressed by the levels of how cool you are. So, and also Andrew, I mean my beautiful partner Jonah. We call him Jojo all the time.
Yeah,
So,
he's our Jojo.
But if I was to see what the guy that's gonna live in my car. Ah!
Rainbow
Yeah,
Ball!
Ponytail. Yeah, you know, it's funny. Normally at this point in the season, how many girls did you say there's going to be in Snatch Game next week? 11?
Yeah,
Yeah.
11.
Normally I'd be like, that's exhausting. I don't want to do that. But like, no, I'm excited and I'm already sad for the girls that we didn't get to see play Snatch Game. So this is a really fun season.
I'm only sad about Joella. I don't care about losing anybody else. Just Joella.
Don't
I
forget
really,
Stella.
I really need to know how a local queen who is known for her looks, local icon who's known for her looks, would
The
have
Asian
performed.
diva of LA.
I would
Hormona,
have-
obviously, nobody had yet told her that she was sadness, so that probably was
Oh.
not going.
Someone also compared her to Tree Trunks from Adventure Time.
Oh my
Yes.
fucking
Oh,
god!
I love that.
I
I'm not-
think she had posted that she was gonna do Betty Crocker, and then it got KO'd by the branding people.
right, because that's not a
Yeah.
Wait, was it you guys that was talking about? Yeah, it was your mom that was talking about Miss Butterworth.
Yeah, it was my mom.
I would have loved.
Yeah, there
to
is no
see-
Butterworth. Yeah.
I would put good money on Joella having come in with like a kimchi for Snatch Game.
Oh yeah, I could see
I
that.
think that
yeah,
would've been
something that's really
right in her
ill-advised
alley.
but recognizable. Dying to know who Lucky Stars would have been. Anyway, I think Kevo, I only disagree with you that I'm already exhausted by the idea of 11.
That's fair.
Playing together. I don't know. I think that's part of the whole harkening back to season 14. They might be setting them up for a little bit of failure and for us to have this expected moment of it not going well, even though like there were ways that it could have. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. This is a really fascinating group of girls. I like everybody else, I think. Well, no, because you guys were all pretty cool about Suzie right from the get-go. Like during the talent show, you all like Suzie. I really did not respond well to Suzie until like kind of last week. Like I could tell she was doing well and I didn't 100% disagree with it at any point, but her reception of the bullying and her just being like, don't care if you don't like it, does not matter to me at all, was such a vibe. Was really like, I'm often not that confident when it comes to being critiqued by my peers versus the actual person or group of people who it matters are critiquing me. And so that was very cool. I still am not getting what everybody else is seeing in Sam, but it is one of those things where the love of the community is
No
only
Lakers tickets for TK.
yes, I don't know how I'm gonna live without those. I was planning on being at those games. I'm like my softening from this season, like my version of learning from the great behavior of these girls and the way they resolve their conflicts is really to not dig my heels in not resonating with a girl, which is absolutely something I've done in other seasons and just been like, nope, this girl didn't resonate with me. I'm not into it. I'm not giving her flowers. I'm not interested in like hearing about how you guys like her. I just don't like this girl. Sam's not resonating with me, but one, I don't think she's doing terribly at all. Like I don't think she should be in the bottom or anything. I did love the trash bag look. I can see that there is talent and enthusiasm there. And the fact that all of my peers really like her really is just making me like, rather than taking a hard stance at all, just like keep my eye on her and keep waiting to see how she resonates. And then, yeah, just Lexi and Anya, I really love. Arietti, I'll marry you tomorrow if you call me. Seriously, I'll throw it all away. Burn this into the ground. You and me, let's ride off into the sunset. I think she is so cute. I don't know what to do with her. But yeah, this is a really interesting, fun season.
Well, from an interesting and fun season to a one-of-a-kind season, unlike any other, it's time for our asses draft race. Start your engines.
Ring ring.
We are super excited to play our game. Now, we did a secret drag race draft, a casting special, as it were, and that's coming your way this week. But we're going to get started on playing our live game. So we actually like drafted our queens. We all picked who we're playing as and stuff, and we're not playing as anybody. So the way the game works is we drafted benches of 5 queens each. And Tori painstakingly created a beautiful document that reflects all of their stats throughout every single episode. We've created a common series of rules, and every episode is going to follow a lot of the same things you expect from the show. There's going to be a mini challenge, there's going to be drama, there's going to be a maxi challenge, judging, and more. But more than anything, we're really excited to just talk about why we love these girls and what makes them so fucking cool. Now, Kevo, I do believe you have for us the I looked at the wrong Kevo. I looked at the one in the middle of the screen.
So
I do believe you have for us the girls as we picked them.
Oh, sorry. I thought the file would be like if I just clicked left, but it was not. It's over here.
Oh.
Amazing. So I went first/last in our draft because we did a snake draft. So my amazing team is Vanjie, Simone, Heidi in Closet, Raja O'Hara, and Saphira Cristal. I wanted to pick girls that represented funny, talented, charming, and ready to bring it. I know that I maybe don't have the stats that reflect exactly what might take to win a season, but I think if some D20s roll my way, I'm a king this shit. So Jonah, why don't you tell us your draft, ladies, since you're sitting right next to me.
I drafted Trinity the Tuck, Naomi Smalls, Nymphia Wind, Rose, and Bianca Del Rio because I was looking for people who are great at Drag Race, great at specific types of challenges, so I could put them in and have me win pretty handily, and people that I love. I'm ready to uplift all of these girls and essentially just say, we're playing Drag Race Simulator. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
All right, Tori, why don't you tell us about the terrific ladies that you've tallied?
I chose 5 fantastic ladies. I've chosen Shea Coulee, Roxy Andrews, Chanel, Plastique Tiara, and Morphine Love Dion. I wanted folks who can kind of do anything, like really like all around workhorse greats, and fill it out with some fun people who know how to lip sync and show some fashion. I'm excited for these gals.
I love it. All right, and then TK.
Yeah, so I had Katya, Jada Essence Hall, Bob the Drag Queen. Oh my god, I have the lowest score by a lot. Willow Pill and Violet Chachki. Weirdly, I have I have literally 100 points less than Tori. And that's fascinating. But I happen to choose, I think, significantly the most winners. And yeah, look at that. I went for girls that surprised me in one way or another, and girls that I love for being absolute professionals. You know, Violet to me is always the best example of a girl who surprised me because, as I've said many times before, I think she served the best look in Drag Race history. Her step down look at the end of season 8 when she came to present the crown to Bob, to me is the best look that Drag Race has ever had. And you know, your Bobs, your Katyas, people that are constantly working, that are doing drag at a showing up to set to make money, showing up to do jobs and work, and I'm just obsessed with that. Jada, never would have thought she would have charmed me the way she did. Willow Pill, same thing, just so funny. I don't know, I just love these girls. I'll talk too much unless we get to work, but though their total score might be a little on the low side, their score in my heart couldn't be higher.
Well, I love that, and I am so excited to get into this. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play a fun little mini challenge where we're all going to play a pretty straightforward version of superlatives. It's going to be just straightforward, fun, easy gameplay. And absolutely no one's gonna, we're just being the goofiest version of ourselves we can be. So we're gonna do a mini challenge. We've got some drama, and I am really excited to bring that all your way. I also want to take a moment to just point out KEVO's amazing boards that he created.
Yeah, truly, KEVO did so much incredible work for this.
So much crazy good work.
You.
Also, KEVO, do all of these queens have their own logos?
Almost all of them. I created Raja O'Hara's myself out of her congratulations announcement.
So many snaps right off the bat, because I knew you had to have created some of these, and I could never have guessed which.
Bianca is from her podcast. She doesn't have an official logo, so there's a few places, but this is the one I grabbed. The other ones, Morphine doesn't have one, but this is that was the promo look that season. Everyone had their name in those, like that Chiron type look.
Yeah.
What else? This is, as always, an enormous shout out to the Drag Race Wikia. It is one of the most amazing fan wikias I've ever seen in my life. And they have everyone who had a logo. It was there. So yeah.
Absolutely love that. An incredible resource. Thank you for finding it and using it. And this just really got me thinking, because we're essentially playing a role-playing game. And my other favorite role-playing games to play are superhero-based ones. And I have gone to the superhero logo Wikia to get so many like different X-Men's specific logos, and honestly some of them are so bad, it's wild to me that we have hundreds of drag queens now and all of them have their own logo like a superhero, that really just encapsulates their identity. And this, I mean, we could do Drag Queens the animated series and just have each of them with their logo flashing across the screen, and it would just be absolutely perfect. So anyway, I just really love that, and I really thank you for collecting all of them and creating these incredible both data and look sheets for us. It's going to make the game even more fun.
Of course.
Now, one of the things is that each challenge falls into a category. Tori, what category of charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent does our challenge tonight fall into?
Why, it falls under your friend and mine, the one where I literally lose my mind. I'm pretty sure it's charisma. Is it charisma?
Me too.
Okay, great. You've done this to me twice now, and I'm like, it's somewhere. It's in the 5th spreadsheet, not the 6th one.
There's a lot of spreadsheets.
There's a lot. I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, because there's little numbers, we're gonna put on put in the foresight.
I love this.
The cheaters.
So
the library's open.
Let's get this roast a cookin'.
Yum.
With our game of superlatives. KEVO, I believe you have the 4 superlatives. And the way I want to get this started is we're not playing superlatives about the girls. We're playing it about each other. Oh. So everybody, you can scribble it down on a piece of paper. You can write it down on your phone. We are not holding you accountable for real. We honor system here. So we're going to play a little superlatives. KEVO, you have 4 categories. And the winner of this mini challenge does, in fact, get a bonus. So, KEVO, without further ado, when you're ready, read the first superlative category.
So the first superlative category is loudest producer. Y'all are the producers. So
Yes.
who's the loudest of y'all?
Okay, I have my answer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Mhm.
All right. I said Tori.
Did everyone else say Nico?
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone else
Yeah.
said Nico.
So you three get a point.
Is there?
Wait,
you know
we
what?
all get a point for picking the
We're-
same person, or
so
you get a
the-
point.
Similar to the mini challenge where they're like, which queen's going home next, and they all vote on it, and then you get
Yeah.
the point if you're all in.
Okay.
You're in the majority.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Andrew gets a point too. Honestly,
Yay!
in your defense, buddy, I would have placed her as second. So to be fair,
It's because my mic's really good.
this one's not fair because I'm not playing. But this superlative is sleeps the most. Again, you cannot vote for producer KEVO. I am not in for sleeps the most.
Can we vote for ourselves?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you can. You always could. You can vote for yourself in superlative game.
I'm putting down.
All right. Is how much longer? I'm not.
No, I'm good.
I'm
Okay.
locked in.
That's
Everyone's
locked.
locked in. All right.
Yeah.
Who wants to? Do you want to go down the row?
Oh, I said Jonah.
I said myself.
I
I
also
said-
said Jonah.
I said
could-
myself.
Okay, yeah, I only
Yeah.
assumed because Jonah's the youngest, we can't vote for Kevo. I know Nico and I don't sleep well. And Tori, I know literally not a single thing about your sleep habits, but given the fact that you work an executive job not from home most of the time,
Yeah.
I assume you do not sleep that much. So I just by process of elimination, I went with Jonah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, when I'm
voting.
unemployed, I turn into 17 hours of sleep. No breaks.
Yeah. All right. So
All right, so that's
You're-
2 points TK,
Ooh.
2
Yep.
points Jonah, 1 point Nico, 1 point Tori.
yeah, here we
Yeah.
go.
All right. Third superlative is who would Thelma and Louise off a cliff? I guess put your hands up when you're when you're locked in. Thumb, hand, however you want to just signal like it's fourth grade when you're locked
I think
in.
we're good.
All right.
All right,
Whoever wants to
I
go
said
first, shout it out.
TK. I said TK.
Okay.
I
Anyone
said
else?
Nico.
Who'd you say, TK?
I said Tori.
I also said Tori.
Okay.
Yeah, I was almost gonna put myself. Good job, guys.
Okay, so it's
Nico, you
three,
so underestimate my fear of death.
but I
Mm.
never underestimate your ability to get riled up quickly.
It's true. I could lose it in a moment. You never know.
Well, so
Also,
now it's 3 TK, 3 Jonah, 1 Nico, 1 Tori. It's really between you two for the winner.
here we go, Magic.
Ooh. How many of these do we have? I'm
Only
so
4.
excited.
Four.
This
Okay.
is the last one, and the last one is probably the most consequential one considering the context. But it is who would make Rue laugh the hardest?
Oh dear.
All right, Terry, you're last. All right, who wants to go first?
I said my faggot
I
ass.
said Nico.
I said me.
I said me, but Nico was a close second. I love Nico, but I think he's got that try hard, jinxie feel that Rue doesn't always love.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot to tell you both. You both sound so dumb today.
So that means Jonah's the winner.
At least I don't look
I
it.
win.
Jonah,
And then
Kevo, do you want to tell Jonah what the winner of a round of superlatives gets?
If I'm not mistaken, isn't he getting our first beautiful benefactress badge?
That is in fact correct. The way this works is we are giving out all-star badges. So winner of the most badges gets to be in the finale. Every one of the producers, me, TK, Tori, and Jonah, will have a girl in the finale. And it's your girl with the most badges. But because this was a nondescript win, Jonah, at the end of the episode, you'll need to let us know what girl you would like to assign your badge to.
Okay.
Deal. Love it.
All right.
Fun.
But now that brings us to the drama. Now, every episode, of course, the girls get into drama. Now, Kevo, today's drama, I believe, has a title. What is the title of today's drama?
I have to find which chat the script is in.
I'll tell you then. It's Benefactress Badge.
Yeah, beautiful benefactress. It's
And that
It's
is-
beautiful benefactress.
And what happens there?
It is where a second badge will be given to the lip sync winner to distribute to another producer's girl.
So that means there are 3 badges total in play tonight. Jonah
Mhm.
already won the mini challenge badge. There is a maxi challenge badge. And there is a bonus badge for the maxi challenge winner to assign. So Jonah could be going home with 2 badges. Somebody could be going home, the only person without a badge. It could absolutely go madness.
Ooh.
It could be crazy. So I am very excited. But tonight we have us, the start of a great season. What kicks off a great season? The talent show. So what I want all producers to do is to take a moment and consider each of your girls' charisma scores. You're going to then take those girls and pick 3 that you think would be the most competitive in a talent show. Now, I do want to say that one thing that is of note is if a girl has a low score in any qualifier, it does not mean that the girl is untalented. Rather, this means that she maybe didn't have the right showcase, or in some cases, Tori, you were so diligent with this. Now, Tori, you worked with the Drag Race Wikipedia as though it were a real person, and you worked with it so well. And you said everything gets a category, every challenge fits into one or another, but that still left the best we could make it, still left some seasons with certain categories just not represented, really.
Oh, we said the wrong word, my friend.
Oh my gosh, what category is it?
It's talent.
Oh.
No, you fools!
It's fine. We're not getting
It's
paid.
talent. It's talent.
Time to change
I was like-
everything.
Well, because I also know that one of the things we have to consider as part of our rules is that you can't use the same 3 girls 2 weeks in a row. You got to switch it up sometimes.
That is true.
It's something to consider. So you should be looking at your talent scores. Talent for the talent show.
Wow. Well, Tori saved the day before this went to
Truly.
just a fun playthrough. I keep looking at the wrong one of us. I just keep being like, oh, hey, that's a really cute hat that TK put on.
There
So-
you go.
All right. Well, I'm going to give everybody another moment to look through their numbers.
Nico, while they're doing that, can you walk people through why it's important to look at the category score for who you're choosing?
Oh, absolutely. So part of the way this game is going to work is that our goal here is never to rate the queens in any way that is negative. Our goal is to talk positively about what we love about each of these queens. So the way the challenge is going to work is each week, each producer is going to play at least 1 new queen for a total of 3 queens. Each main challenge has a challenge category based in part on the girl's stats, and some girls will have an advantage over others as virtue of their season will give them more opportunities. The producers are then going to vote on the queens via secret rate a queen votes, and the queens will be labeled top, bottom, or safe. However, their overall score will be determined by their position and their stats. So we're going to come up with some unique values for some of these girls, and we're going to be able to give these girls their due. So I'm pretty excited. I know my 3 girls.
Yeah.
I got mine.
All right. So I'll go first because I'm a good guinea pig. My 3 girls are going to be the unforgettable Vanjie, Saphira, and Simone. Those are the 3 girls I'm putting up in there. I think that Vanjie, now admittedly, I'm going to pull in some outside knowledge, but I'm going to say that Vanjie knows how to put on a show. She knows how to dance and sing. I feel like she would not come with some second-rate single. She would come with some The Story of Vanjie single. And she would tell her first elimination to her amazing victory as a super queen. I think Simone would get out there and dance and be funny and charm. And we've already seen that Saphira can perform like none other. So I just think that every one of these girls is going to do something. The only thing I will say is, having seen Saphira twice this year, Saphira has such a sense of throwback in her music. I worry that it would be one where Rue would be like, I loved that Saphira song. Put that on my first generation iPod, the one without the click wheel, because I'm RuPaul and I'm a Luddite. But that the other girls would be like, oh, that song sounded old. But I don't know. I really think that Saphira's got it. She's going to do some splits while singing high.
No.
Who else has got girls for me? Talk about it.
Oh, I'll go because I'm in the same window as you. So I'll go. I'm putting up Trinity, Nymphia, and Naomi. I think Naomi's talent show from All Stars 4 Fashion is completely underrated. It is so entertaining. The song I thought was great, and she added elements of comedy that I think were really understated. So I think she would do a very similar number to that and give us a great song, give us a great fashion moment. And what do we want? It's called fashion. Or she would just do legs. Because that song is just great. She just do legs.
Yeah. Real quick, Andrew, we actually did see Saphira and Monet do an opera duet with Thorgy this summer at Oral Confections, presented by the Met. It was incredible.
Absolutely. It truly lifetime experience. Nymphia's talent show wasn't in the top 2 for season 16 because Plain Jane was playing smart. And I think she would do something similar again. I do think that Nymphia's talent show, what she showed us, that she has a breadth of talents, whether it's something traditional from her Taiwanese culture or whether it's something a little more K-poppy, whether it's a little more, we'll go a little bit wild with bananas.
I'll say, to defend you or to hype you up, I think for her, if she came back, she would do something very Taiwanese. She would do something very cultural and share something really special with us. So I just I feel like that would be her energy coming back.
And Trinity, I think, just knows how to own a stage, own a performance, kind of how to own everything.
How to own a kitchen.
She did great on Worst Cook. She didn't win, but it's fine. She's a better chef than she was when she started. So I think it'd be something similar to what she does. She likes to do these comedy numbers, like she won with her tucking number. And I think it would be something similar to that. I think it would be a really good time, really lean into comedy, because she is a very funny person.
For sure. I'll go next. My 3 that I have chosen are Roxy Andrews, Chanel, and Plastique Tiara. And I've chosen those 3 because I very firmly believe that Roxy always gives excellence at a talent show, always has something, but is ready to show something different. And I think Chanel deserves to have a second talent show in her repertoire. And Plastique, I'm excited for something different from Plastique in a talent show. And I think she can really bring it. So I'm excited to describe my future ideas to you.
I love that. I really think you're right that Plastique would actually this time magical girl transform on stage.
Right. But that's not what I'm bringing, so don't tell.
All right, TK, what you got?
So for mine, I did Katya, Willow Pill, and Jada Essence Hall. Now Jada, of course, gives us a straightforward but just staggeringly high energy, all the tricks and stunts number. Full choreo, full dancing. She might even have the backup dancers in there. We would have a "is she gonna jump from there" moment. Katya for hers does a spoken word number from Twin Peaks that it's a tribute to David Lynch and has projectors all around her, and she serves 3 different looks, first as the log lady, then as Norma, and finally as obviously Laura Palmer. And then Willow Pill does more of just like a comedy number. It sort of like harkens back to her bathtub dinner number, but is a little more musical and a little less conceptual. And in the end, it's the one that makes Rue laugh the hardest. So those are my 3, and enjoy.
Well, now that we've cast our teams, everybody's job is to secretly send me your tops and bottoms. Put the girls in order. You can make your life
put everybody in order.
But you can put them in order by girl if you want. Like you could put Tori's in order and just send me Tori's for now. Make life easy. We can go from there afterward. Because I just don't want this to take 45 minutes on air. But we'll make the numbers perfect after. But put them in order. Say who you think, but don't vote for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought we were gonna like get into it a little more of like what they were each doing.
Get into it.
Get
into it while people are voting.
Introduce. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like I feel that way too. Like I feel like Vanjie is gonna give us holy guacamole. Like I feel like she's gonna like give us modern Vanjie. So I'm with you.
Yeah. I was gonna defend mine a little more. I was gonna discuss how like for me, I imagine Roxy coming in with kind of she's done burlesque twice and she's done so much with Tasha Salad. Like I feel like she's coming with something like different and extra. I think she'd want to like either stream it down to something that's a little more specifically comedic, because it seems like she's super into showcasing more of that lately.
Oh yeah.
And I think that she'd be funny, but it would be like a really sexy outfit, and then there would be some sort of reveal or something at the end that's like really tight and really on it. And then like for me, I think Chanel's finally going to bring that Christmas to the runway, and really showcase something through that. I think probably with song, but a little less dancey and a little more campy vibes. And for me, I really think Plastique is. I think Plastique's gonna come out there and do like something a little bit like Train the Text number that she did, where it's kind of explaining like a core part of themselves. And I think Plastique would do like a very comedic, like boppy rendition of like putting together a TikTok video while looking so glam and things.
I love that. And one of the things that I think is really interesting is like we're talking about these girls with all of the knowledge of who they were and who they're going to be in our minds. Like we're not just talking about these girls from one point of view. We're talking about these girls having known who they were when they started and who they're growing into. And like that's part of where I love that you chose Chanel. You chose somebody from season 1. That's so powerful. And like having gotten
the
to see
oldest
Chanel,
and most recent.
Absolutely. And having seen Chanel this year, one of the things that I really felt was like she absolutely presented as somebody who knew how to entertain in a transformative way. Because honestly, something I have commented on is as much as I enjoy BB, I feel like BB feels comfortable doing old school drag and doesn't feel as comfortable in modern showcasing. And she does what she does so well. Who fucking cares? But like Chanel showed me that she understands how to transform. It feels like she started at New Kids and knew how to One Direction. I'm not exactly sure she's here to BTS, but No one's giving her a hard time. It's Dynamite.
Yeah.
So, does anybody else have any strong feels about their girls while I do some math so other people should talk for a moment?
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have. Yeah, no. Jonah, do you have anything in particular about yours? Because I described all mine.
What I love about I think I want to go in general. What I love about the talent show is that it's the ultimate opportunity for any queen and any entertainer to should be like, this is what I want to do. This is me. This is my bread and butter. This is if I'm going on a show. This is what I'm going on a tour. I'm going for whatever. I'm going out in the world. This is what you can market me with. And it's why I love the challenge so much, and it's why it makes me so excited, because again, there's no producer interference. They don't decide it for the girls. The order of the talent show doesn't really matter in that regard unless two people are doing the exact same thing. So I really love the talent show. I love hearing just kind of seeing what these artists come up with. And I also like just the idea of like, oh, this is what I think they would do, and pulling from what they've done off the show as well. That I think is just really fun and special.
And like, one of the things that I also want to see is what these girls would do with like knowing how to behave for Rue in mind, knowing what they know, because so many of these girls, when they do their first All-Stars, they're really just doing it to show what they've learned. They're not doing it to be who they've become. Even if they say, this is who I am now. No, this is who you've got in this moment. But like, we're never done growing and we're never done evolving. And like, for so many of these girls, it's not until they're Roxy doing it for the third time that they really have that sense of ease. But then we even saw Roxy in her third go round. We saw Alyssa in her third go round get really tense.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see where it all goes.
How's your math going?
We're just tallying some numbers, getting together some people, and as it's going, we're putting together some final tallies. As a reminder, each producer will only have one performer in the finals, at which point we're going to do some lip syncing for the crown. That is right. We only lip sync for the crown here. So again, someone else talk for a minute.
Tori, what would Morphine have done?
Morphine was... See, it's so interesting because I very firmly believe that Morphine is someone who knows exactly who she is, what she has to bring, and is going to give it to you every time. I actually don't think that Morphine would be like, let me show a different facet for the talent. She's like, talent's up first. I want to crush from the top. And so I think she would be giving one of the super dancey, crazy numbers, flips, tricks, all of it would be coming out for her. Shea Coulee I was going to choose for the talent show. And then I was like, I need to study Shea Coulee more to understand more facets of what they're bringing, because I don't want to relegate Shea Coulee to just another dance number.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a tough one because she crushes it in so many ways. But how many of them would I say she could do in a 5-minute talent show sketch? And so that's where I was.
Jonah,
I want to know Jonah's.
Does Bianca give us anything different? Does she maybe do a dressmaking, or is it just a type 5?
Oh no, Bianca does a full tap routine, Suzie Chu
Okay.
style.
Okay. Yep. That feels plausible. That definitely feels like she would learn that.
She's
I
like,
think-
you know what? I'm here for what you all wanted to see. Rue, hit the track.
I genuinely think Bianca Del Rio, if Bianca did ever come back, I don't think she's not going to. But I do think she ever did a talent show in the sense of Drag Race. I think she would be the only person to succeed at doing stand up during a.
She just does her type 5 and calls it good.
Calls it a day. And then
What's Rosé's track like?
Rosé's gonna sing. Rosé's gonna give us a beautiful.
What's the track though? What's the genre? What's she giving us? Is it old Scottish brogue?
No, you know what? No, I think she would lean into it because RuPaul loves Large Shady so much. I think Rosé would do a full Scottish pastiche of Scottish culture, Full kill, bagpipes, literally everything.
Oh, I think she would do 500 miles by the Proclaimers, but
Yeah.
500 drag queens, and she would
Yep.
just name girl after girl,
Mhm.
and it would be like, "When Chanel come home," and it would just be full on burn.
Ooh, mash up
Just be-
500 miles by the Proclaimers with 500 miles by Tori Amos.
That's
Or 1,000
With
miles.
1,000 miles by Vanessa Carlton, and it becomes a math.
Yes.
and 5,000 miles by Pretenders in there. It's just
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
All right, Kevo's got the rankings.
Let's see
We've
it.
got everybody's top girl.
Cool.
Yes, we do. So first winner of the talent show from Team NICO is
Mhm.
Safira Cristal. The winner from Team Jonah is Nymphia Wind. The winner from Team Tori is Roxy Andrews. And the winner from Team TK is Katya.
I want to be clear that Katya, by my math, my quick math, came in the highest score by far for this. It was not even close. But yeah, Katya did in fact come in like firstest.
She would have done a great. She
would have
done great.
crushed.
Yeah,
Crushed.
So
that's the girl.
now here's where things get kind of fun. We're gonna keep this light and silly, and here's how it's gonna work. Producer 1 is gonna face off against producer 2. For this sake, it's gonna be me versus Jonah because we're on the top, and then it's gonna be Tori versus TK. So that's gonna give us Safira versus Safira versus Nymphia.
We know how that one ends.
You better roll good, buddy.
And then Roxy versus
Yeah.
Katya, which is like the most perfect. I would pay $1 billion to see that. And here's how it's gonna work. We're gonna do a D20 roll, and then we're gonna take our lip sync score. My lip sync score is a score of 3, and Jonah's is a score of 2. So we're gonna roll D20s and then add those. The winner is gonna move on to fight the next. And the way we're doing it is we're going to Google and then putting in roll D20. And that's all you got to do to roll your D20. You go right to google.com and you roll D20. So Jonah, are you in fact ready to roll D20 with me and see who's gonna win? Did you already roll? Because you look
No, I'm
Okay.
gonna do a fresh roll. We're gonna keep it fair. We're gonna keep it even. You
Ready?
roll and I roll.
okay. We're gonna do it. Ready? Go.
Oh.
Okay, and now I'm gonna add my 3, and you're gonna add 2. So my score is 17.
I rolled an 18.
Oh, Safira. Okay, so Nymphia moves on to the second round to lip sync for the win. Now that's going to put Tori versus TK in the running for winner. So guys, you're going to roll your D20. Tori, you're going to add 8 for your lip sync score. And Jonah and TK, you're
Yep.
going to subtract 4.
Yep. So
Yep,
this is
that's a
great.
girl.
Here we go.
All right, D20, and then do your math. And what do you get?
Tori
I-
won.
I have 17.
Yeah, Tori won.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to give you a shot. It rolled an 18 first, and I was like, I can't do that to him. That's too much crushing.
All right. Tori versus, so it's Nymphia versus Roxy. So 2 finalists from the year 2024. Very exciting. Roxy, that's it. Tori versus Roxy. Jesus. That's amazing. Tori versus Jonah. Roxy versus Nymphia. You're going to roll D20 and then add your 8 and 2. Tori, what you got?
Ooh, I rolled a 1. Ooh. Critical fail. What
Did
could
you
it
really roll a
possibly-
1?
No, but we tied.
No, that's why.
Shut up.
No,
So
because
I
here's the
got a
thing.
not. He rolled a 7.
I rolled a 7.
The only
Yeah.
rule in this game
Yes.
is that ties mean 2 badges.
Yeah. And this was literally a last minute addition where I suddenly turned to Nico and went, what are we doing for ties? And the random off chance that it happened. Is this what happened to RuPaul? She rolled a D20 and went, I guess nobody goes home the first episode?
Yep.
Never
Probably.
again?
But then I want to point out that does mean that there are 5 badges this episode
4.
because Tori and Jonah, you each get to give out a badge.
Wow.
So that does mean this episode, Jonah is walking away with a badge for Nymphia and a badge for whatever girl he would like to assign it to. Plus, you get to give a badge to either me, Tori, or TK.
Oh God,
Tori.
I need to write this down.
Yeah, right? Write this down. Tori, you get a badge for Roxy, and you get a badge to give to TK to give to a girl or me.
Yeah, you do not have to give it to me.
I'm gonna give my badge to TK.
Oh,
Tori, and yours.
and we are.
Who are you gonna give yours to?
Who am I gonna give my? I'm gonna give mine to Nico.
What a good call.
It's nice. I'm nice.
I'm going to give my badge to Saphira, personally. I am confident giving it to Saphira. Mama came in. She worked her ass off tonight. I'm so proud of her. So that is one badge for Saphira. That is one badge for Nymphia. Who are you giving your other badge to tonight?
Her name is Rose.
That's a badge for Nymphia and a badge for Rose. Tori, you have an incredible badge for Roxy, the first of many, I'm sure. And TK, who are you giving your badge to?
I think I'm gonna give it to Katya.
Yeah,
think she deserves it.
Yeah,
She came in first place tonight. It's not her fault that she can't dance, evidently, which
Truly.
isn't true. But like the dice said so.
She do be losing those lip syncs.
You do be losing them.
Guys, I expected this to be fun, but we actually had a really good time. Like, this is so fun. And
Yeah.
I kind of knew the dice rolling would be my favorite part.
Always is.
Guys, I had an amazing time. So that's one badge Saphira, one badge Nymphia, one badge Rose, one badge Katya, and one badge Roxy. This is gonna be great, guys. I can't wait to talk about why I love all these girls. I probably won't play Saphira next week because she already has a badge and it's so early. I want to see everybody get badges for a little while. So I'll probably give Saphira a rest next week. I'm really hoping to get to play Vanjie or Simone. I gotta play one of them. So I'm really hoping to play either one. It's gonna be a great time. This is really a dream come true.
Couldn't agree more.
Anybody got anything they want to add to this amazing game before we sign off this super cool time?
I love rolling dice.
Yeah, dice for days. Kevo, who was your favorite talent show?
I'm gonna have to reflect on it. This whole thing was very overwhelming. Obviously,
Yes.
any
Yes, it
first
was.
live program is.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was so much fun. I'm looking forward to all of the different ideas that we have for the different challenges, the different props we're going to come up with to use, all that fun stuff. So definitely keep an eye out for the draft video. We had a lot of fun making that last week, and I had a lot of fun judging it this week for your enjoyment. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the game shapes out for the rest of the season. And already, much like with Global All-Stars, thinking about round 2.
I can't wait. You know what? Let's do this sign off and let's do it right. Jonah, where can everybody find you?
You can find me places at Peak Jonah.
Love it. Tori, where can everybody find you?
You can find me online at SM Toy. That's Toy with an I.
Kevo, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on the socials at KEVO Really. That's KEVO
How about you, TK?
It's TK Accidental.
As for NICO Action, NICOACTION, one more big thanks to Channing Tatum by Adam over it. Such a great time this past week. Looking forward to seeing Janet Jackson, Drag Race Live with an all-new cast. Mariah Carey this week. Super excited to go to Vegas where they really roll the dice and they dunk women in tanks, evidently. And until then, check us out at HTML. That's Husbands Talking More or Less. X is for podcast, X is for show and more. NICO Action Music. Like, comment, and subscribe. We think you're great. And then also, stay safe. It's a spooky world. Be brave because we love who you are, but also evolve daily. Who you were yesterday, amazing. Who you are today, incredible. But who you are tomorrow, that's the ultimate. So we can't wait to see you then. So until then, keep being you. We'll keep being us, and we'll meet you then.